Here's this week's Blending the Family Parenting Tip Tuesday from your host, Tommy Maloney. What's this week's tip?
And yes, welcome to another edition of Blending the Family, the podcast, and Parenting Tip Tuesday. I am your host, Tommy Maloney. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring, sharing, and all that other good stuff. This tip comes from the book, 25 Tips for Divorced Dads, How to Create Special Memories and Grow Your Bonds with Your Children. And this is tip number 2 from the book. And the tip says, or doesn't say anything, I will read it to you. Send your kids postcards or letters even if you live in the same town. If they are just learning how to read, written notes to your kids are even better. I guess I should have maybe paused a little bit there. Let's try that again. Send your kids postcards or letters even if you live in the same town. If they are just learning how to read, written notes to your kids are even better. And then the little bit of going in depth on that tip. Think about when you were a kid and received mail and how special you felt. This comes from when I was traveling for work and Connor, my son, was first learning how to read, and that's exactly what I did. I would send him postcards, and I think to this day he still has them. How cool is that for your legacy? Send postcards to your kids, and they hang on to them forever and ever and ever. Hopefully forever and ever. But it's not just postcards. I am one of those people that dumbfounded when I receive a letter. And my grandmother's still very good at this. She still sends letters and thank you cards and things of that nature. I mean, yeah, you can still send birthday cards and put a little note in there, but what's wrong with taking some old, remember some 3-ring binder paper and write a letter? Send it to somebody. Maybe it doesn't have to be somebody that you're related to. Why don't you send it to somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time? But the point here is to get into maybe some kind of habit of writing letters to your kids. And so, like I said, you're creating a legacy that they can hang on forever and ever. Matter of fact, as I'm sitting here in the home office, actually this past weekend did a lot of cleaning between my wife Ann and I. She cleaned about 99% of the house. I cleaned the office. And I actually found a letter from her. And it meant a lot to me. So, from the book, 25 Tips for Divorced Dads. Tip number 2, once again, was send your kids postcards or letters, even if you live in the same town. If they are just learning how to read, written notes to your kids are even better. So there you go. There's Parenting Tip Tuesday for this week. Enjoy. Thanks for caring, of listening to this podcast. And if you have any questions, you can always email me, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com, Tommy@blendingthefamily.com. Until next week, enjoy your Parenting Tip Tuesday.